Every time I wear this hat, I feel like either my head is crooked or the D is crooked. Like, tell me this just isn't crooked. I don't know if I'm tripping. Anyways, y'all, today we're finally gonna be talking about some new, well, not new people, but I just feel like recently it's just been like Brianna Olsen and like Astrovito up on my channel, which you guys, I can't keep up with Astrovino stuff. Like, I just feel like it's way too much. I do obviously not want to like drown you guys out with Astrovino stuff, but I just feel like she's literally consuming my life because I am just so invested in her messiness. But I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can't just talk about Brianna Olsen and Ashley Trevino only on my channel. So I'm like, let me switch it up. So today we're gonna be talking about Tana Mongeau and Joey Graceffa as well as Trisha Paytas, which, by the way, speaking of Trisha Paytas, y'all, I have to say, I really feel like she is out there thriving. And y'all, I'm just being so for with you guys. Like, speaking of like Ash Trevino, like, obviously Trisha Paytas wasn't a mom at the time, okay? But like, I look at her and I look at Ash Trevino and I'm like, damn, they low key both were really messy, like super, super messy. Like, if you guys only like paid attention to Trisha Paytas, like all coming up and watch her videos way back in the day, I'm like, damn, homegirl was a mess. And this is why I always say people can change. Like, people can, make some messy remarks or videos or whatever and act out, and then they can change. You know what I mean? This is why I always give people the benefit of the doubt, because honestly, I just feel like if you look back at Trisha Paytas' past, like, damn, she was a mess. So like her coming out as trans, to her like being up on her floor screaming and crying and just acting a whole mess, and now she is just so wholesome. And also too, I have to say, she is really thriving. I don't know if you guys saw recently, but speaking of Trisha Paytas, she actually said that she has a bigger thing coming up for her, bigger than SNL, like bigger than anything that she's ever done before. So I'm really curious as to what that is, because I was even talking to my mom about this whole situation with Trisha Paytas being on SNL, and she was like, "Oh my god, like a YouTuber is on SNL." I'm like, "Yeah, like I can't believe it." I'm sure there probably was some other YouTubers out there too who are probably like in the acting space, but I feel like Trisha Paytas is obviously known for her vlogs. Anyways, y'all, I am totally rambling today. I actually y'all know that I stay pre-filming my videos. Okay, this is why you guys always see me in the same outfits. However, I haven't filmed in 5 days technically, so I feel like I haven't talked to you guys in so long. So I'm running my damn mouth. Anyways, I'm gonna give you guys a brief rundown of what's going on between Tana Mongeau and Joey Graceffa. Which, by the way, I have to say this: I have never really caught up with like Joey Graceffa's stuff, because I have to be honest with you guys. For some reason, ever since the jump, and no, I am not just saying it just because of this whole scenario that's happening. If you guys have been on my lives before, I'm sure we've talked about this. I've always gotten the vibes from Joey Graceffa that he's like, just like one of those gays that thinks that he's like better than, do you know what I mean? And he has this online persona of him being so just like, straight edge and just so clean and proper. And you know what I mean? Like, he seems like online that he's super, super nice, but then I feel like behind the scenes and stuff, he could be a little bit of a diva. Those are just the vibes that I got from him. I never obviously have like met him in person. This is just something that I don't know. For some reason, I don't know if you guys ever like look at people online and you're like, I feel like you seem really nice, but then, I don't trust you. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've always, like, low-key got those vibes from him. Anyway, so giving you guys a little bit of context here. So, apparently, Tana Mongeau, she is going to be on Escape the Night, which is his show, which is a YouTube original series, or, like, it was an original series. And basically what it is like Clue. I don't know if you guys ever played the game Clue. So where it's like a murder mystery type of game, that he has influencers partake in, which, correct me if I'm wrong, because honestly, y'all, I've never watched it, only because I want to say back in the day it was on like YouTube Premium to where you had to pay for it, and y'all know me, I'm broke, so I was like, I'm not going to pay for this. Anyways, I really feel like Tana Mongeau had been on it before. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe this is her first time being on it. I really don't know. Anyways, about a month ago, she actually made a podcast on her canceled podcast, and she was talking about this to her co-host Brooke Schofield, and she was saying about an experience of what she had did, and she just didn't like this experience. Come to find out, it was Escape the Night. Joey Graceffa was bothered by this because the cast hadn't been announced yet, and she basically had put it out there that she was going to be on Escape the Night, but she did speak negatively about her experience, not about Joey Graceffa. Okay, this is where everything is like getting twisted, and I personally feel like Joey's taking this way too deep. Like, it's really not that serious. She had a bad experience on set as far as like other cast members, or not cast members, but crew members, let's just say. Somebody basically was like propping her up. Obviously it was all part of like the show, and I guess that he was like really creeping her out, and she felt like really harassed by him, and she was just speaking out about that. And y'all, always have to say this. I feel like when it comes down to Tana, like, I really like her. I really do. Like, y'all know that I love somebody who is so outspoken, who is not scared to say what's on their mind. And I really do feel like Tana is very unfiltered, and whatever's in her brain, it's going to come out of her mouth. And I love that. I feel like it's a breath of fresh air, even if you agree with her, disagree with her, whatever the case is. I'm just pro people being themselves, and I really really do feel like she is authentic. So I love that she like spoke up for herself. However, this just didn't sit well with Joey Graceffa. I do actually want to go ahead and play a clip about this because this is where things did get a little bit twisted between everybody, is because this is so strange about this, right? Trisha Paytas actually had Joey Graceffa on in the morning to when she was filming her Just Trish podcast. They talked about the scenario and he had briefly, spoke about it, and he just... This is what I'm saying, like, low-key, before this even happened, I just get condescending vibes from him. I don't know why. Like, I feel like, I go out to West Hollywood a lot, and I just feel like there's, like, a lot of gays like him that are just very, pretentious, and just think that they're better than, and I've always gotten those vibes from him. I could totally be wrong. I don't know him, never met him. I'm just saying those are the vibes that I get through the screen. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so he ended up, like, talking about Tana. What's weird about this whole damn thing, though, and super messy, is that just a few hours later, she was actually pre-filming her podcast with Tana Mongeau, and then she obviously talked to her about the whole entire thing. So go ahead and check out this first clip right here to where she is talking to Joey Graceffa.
I'm so happy we're all here. It's all good now. Yes. That makes me feel so much better. We can never be shady anymore to Joey.
No, you can.
No, we're never. Yeah, we're never shady. It's just more like, no. Joey, don't have to escape the night.
When Tana brought it up on her podcast, I was like, honestly, whatever. Like, she can complain. Like, it's just bringing attention to the project.
Yeah,
so.
for sure. Can I ask her about it then here?
Sure.
Okay.
You broke her thumb or something? What did you do?
Yeah, she broke her finger.
Oh, really?
No.
I can't wait to hear all this.
She did not. She was at an event later that night, so she was clearly fine.
Well, she probably could have gone with a broken finger.
No, it was like I don't deny that, like, her fingernail did get, like, bent or whatever, but, like,
Drama has already started.
Yeah.
As y'all see from right there, he's like low-key bothered about it, and he's just like, but basically saying that Tana's Tana and she's gonna do what she wants to do. I do want to go ahead and play a small clip too, to where she was talking to Tana about this whole entire situation, and where she was opening up about it. And honestly, this is where I have to say, like, that was just her experience. And please correct me if I'm wrong, call me crazy, call me out in the comments, like, whatever the case may be. I really do feel like what Tana was talking about was specifically with this crew member. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was nothing towards Joey Graceffa whatsoever. Like, I really do feel like he is taking this way too personal. Go ahead and hear from Tana right here.
Oh my God, I want to talk about Joey Graceffa.
Okay.
And I'm not even kidding you. We have enough podcasts to move over to the Patreon, but like I specifically want to bring this to the front lines.
Yes.
Okay. And I talked about my experience on Escape the Night with you on Patreon. Mm-hmm. And even that, like, I left it on the Patreon because I was like, I am going to talk about this because this was an awful experience with a man in Los Angeles that I had. And I think it's important to speak up about these things. And I really was so incredibly uncomfortable on that set due to those men. It has nothing to do with Joey. I went above and beyond as well to still say that, like, I love Escape the Night and I love Joey and it had nothing to do with him, and so on and so forth, right? Like, I think that I was very clear in separating the two things, that I did not think what that man said to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was Joey's fault. However, it still happened and whatever. And then he ends up breaking my pinky. And it's like, that was just like a whole, like, very, very awful day and awful experience for me. You know what I mean? And just being fucking fake chained up in a meat freezer, and a guy is telling you completely off camera that he would love to have you chained up like this with a fucking mask with horns on, and no people are 100 feet away.
Am I tripping on this? Y'all have to let me know down below, because I really do feel like she was basically just talking about her experience. Like, I didn't really feel like it was that deep with Joey. However, at this time, do keep in mind that Tana Mongeau did not see, obviously, the podcast that took place with Joey Graceffa and Trisha Paytas. This is where she even got a little bit more press. And you know what I have to say? I think that this whole entire thing to me even blew up more because apparently he, like, wrote an apology to Tana and, like, sent her flowers or something like that. But it just seemed like he was forced to do it. So actually, I do want to go ahead and play another clip to where Trisha Paytas' co-host Oscar was basically reading about it, or reading the DMs or something like that, to Trisha Paytas. This, to me, this is where I was like, okay, now I really feel like he's mishandling the situation. Because in my personal opinion, like, it really wasn't that deep of her just speaking her experience. I think that he should have been like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Was there anything that I can do about this? Do you want me to reach out to this crew member? Would you like to, like, file a complaint with him? Something like that, being that he is obviously the director of this and he is in control of it. Hearing what he had to say about this to Oscar, and from Oscar reading it, I was like, ooh, I just thought it was really, like, I don't know. Anyways, go to check it out right here.
I said, can you give Just Trish an exclusive statement in response to Tana? He said, I sent Tana a text. I don't see why she can't handle things offline. I apologize to her for how I talked about it on the pod, though, and I was just being playful. I think Tana's been hurt by a lot of people and put me in the same boat of people who have wronged her with people with bad intentions, but I genuinely feel bad and was shocked by her reaction, and I instantly texted her. And we also handled it on set, too. So I think talking about probably with that guy, I'm assuming, like, when Tana told him about the harassment and stuff. She said
Oh.
he said we also handled it on set, and he said he's gonna send her flowers. So I hope all's well that ends well.
Y'all, am I tripping or does that just seem, I don't know, condescending? Like I'm forced to apologize to her. It just seemed very, I'm bothered, but I don't want to be canceled, so let me just apologize to her. Those were the vibes that I'm getting, and I'm so sorry, but over here, I'm always going to be Team Tana. I really do like her, and I feel like in this specific scenario, I really do feel like she wasn't even bashing Joey. She didn't say anything bad about him. She just said, obviously, she had a bad experience with, like, her breaking her nail from the setup and everything like that, and also, like, feeling harassed by that crew member. I'm like, y'all, she should be able to feel free to speak up about that, especially she has a podcast. Like, I feel like if Joey wants people on there who are, like, not going to be, like, talking about stuff, don't ask somebody who has a podcast to, like, come out there and, like, be on your show, because obviously they're going to talk about their experience. But that's just my opinion. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.